Well, first, are you here with us?
Whoa.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Whoa, that was actually pretty freaky.
You know what I'm trying to figure out is the sleeping arrangements. I think I may have to. There's no room for my blow-up mattress, so that idea's out the window.
I don't know. I'm just happy I had fries. To be honest, walking into that hotel, I'm normally not a believer. I'm about 20%. There's something about this place that's kind of creepy. So we'll see what happens.
I'm actually kind of fine. It's a sketchy hotel. I don't think we're gonna see it. Oh wait, you got me. It's not that I'm a not believer, but I'm not a believer. I'm just kind of like, I get creeped out. Like, I hate scary movies. I don't like. I might be acting like a tough guy. I might be a little scared if I'm being totally honest.
I think I'm more scared of that room than of the ghosts, to be very honest.
Oh, I'm excited. I really hope we see something like spirity or ghosty. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really scared, except for the creepy guy standing behind you while you're filming.
Housekeeping.
Oh my gosh, we walked right into the beds.
Let's go, Lee. We're on vacation.
So yeah, we're in what used to be the Bolero tourist rooms. So this is a hotel that was built in the 1870s. It's, as you can tell, it's quite old. And this was a place that was a hotbed in Prohibition era. So we're right on the corner of St. Catharines and I forget the other street, but you know, we're in the heart of Prohibition, red light district. So what you had here, picture like Boardwalk Empire vibes, except here, Montreal was considered a wide open city. So that means that we didn't have Prohibition. So imagine when the rest of US, Canada, that sort of thing, they're having Prohibition and we are still allowing wine, liquor, everyone's coming here, right? So we're getting all the crime, we're getting all the prostitution, everything like that, right? And this was the hotbed for it. So the Bolero tourist rooms were a location where you could pay by the hour for a room. When we're thinking about ghosts, we're thinking about, you know, people who passed away in gunfights and, you know, people who had a not so great experience on the streets of Montreal at that time. Now the thing is with this place, one of the more interesting parts is a lot of these old locations, it kind of ends in that era, right? But here, it continues on into the 80s, even when Montreal was trying to take the red light district and make it into the quartier de spectacle, like, okay, we're gonna bring it up, it's gonna be the entertainment district, right? It's gonna be like nice and shiny and new, although when you walk around here, they haven't really changed this location much, which is great for our purposes, right? But one of the main things that happened was in 1984, there was a woman named Sharon DeLand, and she was found dead here, strangled. And we didn't know, like the police didn't know who did it. To this day, no one's actually been assigned to that murder. Like, it's still considered unsolved. And there was a second murder only 2 months later, Francine St. Hilaire, and these were both, you know, women of the evening. And they were found here in the 80s. And what happened was there was a similar murder in Toronto, a woman named Faith Constance Russell, and a man who had been her roommate at the time, Gregory George Ashford. He was connected to her. He went to Halifax, he went to Winnipeg, I believe that's where he was finally caught, and that's actually my hometown. So he got around to Canada before he was finally caught. And the strange thing is he had this, you know, this rash of murders that he was doing where he had a certain MO. And these two women in the Bolero tourist rooms were never actually connected to him, even though everyone kind of knew that was the case. So when you're thinking about souls who have unfinished business, who feel, you know, uneasy in some way, these are two primary figures here. So these two women are people who we actually have names for, although I would say there are probably a multitude of others who came to an unfortunate end in this location. Two of our favorite apps for our investigations through Haunted Montreal. One is called Necrophonic and one is called Spirit Talker.
Sounds scary.
Yeah, they're pretty great. And I can't explain, and people always ask this, I can't explain the exact technical way that these were built, because I didn't build them. But Spirit Talker specifically, a friend of mine, his friend built it, and all the ghost hunters I know swear by it. And with all of these apps, they will never ask you for permission to use the microphone, so they're not listening to you. And they're not hearing anything as an application. So this is the spirit box. This is your classic one, and you're just going to hear sort of static. And the idea is that you listen to it, and the spirits will be able to pick words out, because that's the largely sort of understood thing with spirits, is that they're related to electromagnetic energy, electricity. So if you provide a device like this, they'll be able to pick certain words out while it's scanning. Every single time I've used this, it's been different. So we've already got something coming through that says they never found me. Which is kind of interesting, because what were we just talking about is...
So I'm gonna be honest, and okay. She's like the crazy believer. He's totally against all this, and
Yeah.
we're kind of in the middle of all
Yeah.
this.
I'm like, we're mothers.
So I walked away and I was like asking questions, and I didn't get anything. But the second I got towards the bathroom, I felt weird.
My belief is that everything that was unexplained, like everything that is explained now, was unexplained at some point, right? And I think there's too much going on.
That's such a good point. Maybe eventually it'll be explained, Mark. It's just that we're not that advanced yet.
What does it
I'm
say?
enjoying
I'm
this.
enjoying this. And that's what I think. We are
And this is-
already
this is
finding
who?
out things
This-
we don't know
we could
yet.
ask, maybe.
We can ask. So this
who
is
are
a,
you?
a point to go off of. Hello. We're here. We're interested in hearing from you. It seems like you've already discovered this device. Usually I like to introduce the device, but I think that there's a lot of activity here already. So if you're here and you would like to talk to us, we're going to take a little wander.
We have two devices.
And yeah, so you can play with either this, or this, or this. And we will also see if we can locate your exact location
So
by
we're
using
looking
this
for cold
temperature
spots.
gun. Yeah.
We're looking for
If
cold
you'll
spots.
allow-
More and more is happening with other sort of planes, other dimensions and stuff, and
Josiah,
that's
we got- we
already.
got a name.
Oh, we got a name.
Josiah.
Josiah. Okay, so one thing I would say is
I know.
sort of keep track of the names. Now, the good thing with this app is it does save a document.
Oh, it's
It will
crazy.
save, so you'll be able to view it later on, and you can look up those names after.
Hi,
and see
Josiah.
if anything is.
Maybe we
Maybe
should
we
ask
should
again.
wander to the washroom because you
Is that what I
noticed
was feeling?
something.
It's
there.
over there, but there was nothing. Josiah, am I getting closer to you? Like, let's go to the middle somewhere. Yeah, I feel really. I don't know why.
I felt that too.
It was like at the.
Right? It's almost like something that kind of stops you, right?
I peed in there before.
Do you have any?
That's TV.
Let's just hear if we can hear something from you.
Come here, Joseph. Josiah? Is that his name?
Yeah.
Josiah, are you around here?
No.
It's like,
No,
No,
there, right?
the
you
end.
hear
He
it
said
coming
no.
through.
He said no.
That sounded like a George.
George,
Yeah.
I heard George.
George, are you here? George, are you here?
Oh my gosh, guys. That's, my heart's starting to beat now.
I knew that would freak out Claudia.
Oh my gosh, guys. Okay. I felt something behind me. Guys, this is not. Do you want to go? No.
Claudia, come in.
Come here.
If there are women here who were, women of the night, they might have trouble speaking with us. They might be uncomfortable about it, right? So you might sort of have to draw them out.
We're not here to judge you. We're here to tell your story. So you don't have to be alone in the afterlife.
you know, the mythos of this is that they are stuck in a certain place,
don't know.
right? So they don't know. Like you just saw, Am I Dead? A lot of people who remain behind may not know where they are.
Is there anything you would want us to find in this hotel? Just thinking.
She said, Sounds like a child.
Reaching out and asking any questions you might have given the history.
Well, first, are you here with us?
Whoa.
My God.
Okay.
Whoa. That was actually pretty freaky. That was pretty freaky. Okay. I'm in.
Have you been here for over 100 years?
Do you want to go to the other side?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we help you do that?